What is up, gamers? It's Isolation Gamer 05 back at you again with a different kind of video. This is a sort of a channel update video, if you will, just to give you a little roadmap as to what to expect on my channel in the coming year, I suppose. This is a video that's filled with both good and bad news, and to get it out of the way, let's start with the bad news. So, the bad news is that unfortunately, things didn't quite go to plan with the new route I was taking my channel. When I first started out on YouTube, I wanted to be sort of like an everyman's gamer in the sense that I was playing games that, playing some racing games or playing some shooter games, games that I love, and I wanted to share that love with various communities and just kind of wanted to give everyone a piece of something that they enjoyed as much as I did, and I could share it with many people. However, that quickly changed as during the pandemic, I became enamored with Formula One racing. It just became such a big part of my life. I started watching the races, I binged Drive to Survive, and now I am just fully indebted to Formula One. So my channel has taken quite a turn then, which explains the influx of Formula One videos on the channel, in particular with F1 2020. However, I did start a little late, and school really, that year, because of the whole online learning thing, really set back my upload schedule, which is why there was a big gap between, I think it was the race I had in China and then the race I had in Zandvoort, which is race 4 and 5. And I tried to catch up knowing that F1 2021 is coming out very soon, and I actually put out a poll on my social media asking the community what they wanted to see. Did they want to see me just continue with F1 2020, finish all the plans I had for it, or should I just bin the series and get dedicated solely to F1 2021, take some of the things I've learned over my first year on YouTube and just to see and just use that to try and come up with a better product, a better upload schedule, which is something I've learned I should do. While the results did say just continue with F1 2020, I just don't think that's viable. I mean, I won't lie when I say my channel is a small channel right now is an understatement. My F1 2020 videos, I believe my most popular video is my first one, and I believe it only has something like 45, 46 views. I'll leave a little tag on the top of the screen in case I got the number wrong, but yeah, just small views, and just some of my videos are still in the single digit. I did get into the game cycle quite late, and I was still acclimatizing myself to the games, just how the way it worked, how the handling model was, and just the AI difficulty and all that. So I wasn't ready to dive my head fully into the new My Team career mode. So that's why I did driver career mode. That's why I started the Noob Plays F1 2020, because I was a noob, in fact, to this whole kind of genre of racing. That's not like my racing background, I won't lie, is just like Mario Kart, Need for Speed, but this is actual different. This is realistic, or as realistic as it can get. I was hoping I can get at least this series done in Abu Dhabi, but that's just not the case. I have 3 videos left. I think I have Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi, which are the last 3 races of the season. However, F1 2021 comes out soon, and honestly, I think this is sort of like a last-ditch stand for this channel. I need to get right on the ball with F1 2021 and see if my viewer numbers can increase, because that's just not going to happen if I keep posting F1 2020. And what that guts me, because I had great plans. I was going to continue with Anakin Skip Solo after his career of Alfa Romeo, which I should probably I'll tell you later how that went, because I had all the videos recorded. I was even starting to record some My Team episodes, because I actually started to understand the structure of the game, and we're going to do something really, really cool. Basically, create a new team that honestly could happen in real life, and because you guys never know, I'll tell you now, I took Bugatti, like the creators, the Veyron, the Chiron, all these great fast cars. And I thought they deserve to be one of the fastest motorsports in the world. Clearly, that's not going to happen. With a 22 race calendar, especially in the first season, and even with a shortened season, I don't think the shortened season will give it justice. So, while it guts me to say this, I'm going to have to bin F1 2020. the viewer numbers just don't add up, and to continue it. And while I do love, this is not to say that I'm quitting, because I do love this channel. I love what I've done during the pandemic. It's given me a great distraction from all the crazy stuff that's happened in the world. And I also have, I just love editing videos. I love creating content, and it's just satisfying when it's finally uploaded. However, passion only takes you so far, right? It's inevitable that if the viewer numbers don't add up, then it kind of like, passion can only take you so far. So in the end, I'm devoting all my resources to F1 2021, and maybe we'll see Bugatti come back. I can already tell you in advance that the Bugatti F1 team that I created in F1 2020 will not transfer to F1 2021 because I have a different plan there. That's the bad news out of the way, that F1 2020 will not continue. I do feel indebted, though, both to those who have seen the videos and to those and to, I guess, my character Anakin Skip Solo, that I should tell you guys how exactly it went down. So in Mexico, because I have it all recorded, I know it all off the top of my head, Mexico, we took another engine penalty because there were 3 components on our engine that were worn and we just didn't have any replacement components. And we took another engine penalty. We got pole position, but we bumped down to P11. But tons of engine penalties also came up through the field that helped us get into P8. And we actually, because of strategy and a safety car caused by Lewis Hamilton, who will win the championship if he wins in the next 3 races, he failed completely. And when I mean failed completely, his engine failed on him. And we actually saw Daniel Ricciardo lead in a Renault. That was amazing. Like, I wanted him to win so badly, but unfortunately, Jeff, for once, had a great strategy. We did a 1-stop to hard tires, and we ended up winning that race. That was amazing. So we ended up getting a win, solidifying our 3rd in the championship. And then we went to Brazil. And Brazil, same thing, but this time I increased the difficulty by 5. So I was running around, I think, 80 AI difficulty, which isn't that impressive. But considering that at the beginning of this season, I was running 60, I think a 20% increase in AI is pretty good. Because of the AI difficulty, we only ended up 3rd. And we had to take our final engine penalty, and we end up in P13. But a great climb up the field brings us back to P6, especially after a few moments with some drivers, specifically with a front wing getting involved. But P6 was great, and we still were 3rd in the driver's standings. And finally went to Abu Dhabi, our final swan song. And the reason why I was taking so many engine penalties in the last 3 races, I wanted to give Anakin Skip Solo justice. I wanted him to get a position, own it on merit, and finish the race without having any loss of power anywhere in the car. And in poetic fashion, we get pole position in Abu Dhabi with the 2 Mercedes behind us, which you can imagine went very well. In fact, they passed us rather quickly, I'd say, in like the first 3 laps. But in the end, because Abu Dhabi is, as you know, impossible to overtake on, we end up P3. So our final podium of Alfa Romeo, which is an accomplishment in and of itself, but the Mercedes had an amazing battle. Keep in mind, Valtteri Bottas, oh, it's weird saying that. Valtteri Bottas was in a championship fight with Lewis Hamilton in our career mode save, and he had a ding-dong battle throughout the race. Like, you'd say you can't overtake in Abu Dhabi, which I just realized I said a few minutes ago, but they were just back and forth, skirmishing, wheel-to-wheel action, side by side. It was invigorating. But in the end, it was Lewis Hamilton who secured his 7th driver's title, and that was the end of the career mode. So I just felt indebted to at least tell you guys the results, because while I may not be able to show the actual videos, at least I can give some sort of justice to the series that I've worked so hard on and that I've really wanted to share with you guys. And now, time for the good news. And the good news comes twofold. Number 1, I will be dedicating myself to F1 2021. I have an upload schedule. I haven't quite finalized it as of yet, but I will share it on my social medias just so that people can gain interest and know when to expect videos. And of course, I will post when I can't shoot videos or upload videos because, I mean, I'm still a part-time YouTuber. While I am dedicating a little more time to it, I'm still part-time. I'm still a student. This is just a hobby. This is just a passion of mine. I don't see myself making this into a huge career, although that would be great. But I'm being realistic, especially with the viewership numbers. So F1 2021, I have pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition so we can have, the 6 icons. And of course, EA did not give me a free copy because obviously I'm a small YouTuber. So this is my own pocket money. And this is sort of an investment for me. Although the deluxe edition is very expensive, I rationalized that if I could get my viewership numbers up, if I publish a video within the first 2 days of the game's release, especially considering that the deluxe edition is released 3 days earlier than the standard, if I can get content out and see viewership numbers rise and maybe get some money from YouTube, then this investment will be well worth it. And that's where I'm throwing my eggs into the basket. And I have some great content coming up. Of course, we'll start with Breaking Point, the story mode, and then I'm going to start immediately with my team. And so we will be starting with F1 2021, and I can't wait for that. I have great plans for this series. And I will try and show Real Season Start, the new option for Driver Career. I will return to Driver Career, but with a spin, and I hope you guys enjoy that. But more information on that soon. So that's the good news. But it comes twofold, because my second is that this channel is going to get a rebrand. I'm dedicating myself solely now to racing and Formula 1 content. And Isolation Gamer 05, while it was appropriate for the pandemic because, we were all in isolation, I was a gamer. If I'm just going to be a racing gamer, it's just not fitting to put gamer there. And plus, it's a little long. So here we are. For the official channel rebrand, this channel will now be known as, and I will be known as, the ISO Racer. It was a nice play on words, like ISO, retain the soul of how this channel started out of the pandemic and isolation, but now I'm a racer. Because I'm playing racing games now. While I'm a new fan, I recognize that. I'm not as long-term as some other YouTubers out there. This is an opportunity for me to cement and hopefully gain some new fans like me who found this sport and just love it to death. I hope I can give that to you guys. Anyway, that wraps it up. I've raffled way too long. This video is already longer than I wanted it to be, but I just felt like I needed to tell you guys where this channel is going to go. So that's it from me. Expect the first episode of Breaking Point to come out within 1 to 2 days of July 13th. But until then, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, leaving your appreciation down below. Show me you're hyped for this new era that we're taking this channel into. This last-ditch effort to revitalize our numbers. Because while the viewers haven't been there, I just love this too much to give it up. So thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, subscribe down below and stay safe out there. Well, the world may be getting back to normal, but we still just need to be careful and looking out for each other. And until then, when F1 2021 comes out, I'm not Isolation Gamer anymore. I'm ISO Racer now. And stay safe. Peace out.